Hello, everybody. So I'm going to make up for the soft-spokenness of Dr. Stanton and Niranjan. They are soft-spoken people, but I think it's important to be hard-spoken when you have to fight Hindutva. Thank you, Dr. Stanton, for your leadership, for all that you do. You have literally been, when I started working here in the United States 3 years ago, you were one of the first people I met, and your guidance, your leadership it's been an amazing inspiration for me. So thank you so much. Let's give him a big hand, please. Let's also give a big hand to Niranjan Takle, a real big hand. This man, I do not know any journalist in India who compares with him. He has braved not only joblessness, he has braved not only abuse on social media, but he has also braved and continues to brave the absolute horror of threats, physical threats, bodily threats, threats to his family that is ongoing. He's soft-spoken. He doesn't like to talk about himself, but that is the reality in modern India. And he lives there, unlike me. He lives there and he's facing things. So a big hand for him again. Thank you so much, Niranjan. Thank you for all you do. So we are on deadline here. We've got to leave this room in the next 9 minutes, and I would really like all of you also to hear from Rashid Bhai, who is also, in a way, my mentor. He's our leader. He's been leading this fight for a long time, for 20 years. I'm sure he's going to recognize some of our other colleagues who are in the audience, from the Indian American Muslim Council, as well as our allies, so I'm not going to be taking any more names. I just want, and I see a lot of faces here, I hope that, I can see that some of you, or many of you probably, are not of Indian origin, and this is something critical to understand. 2 points actually. Number one, Hindu nationalism is present in the United States and is expanding at a terrific pace. Number two, Hindu nationalism is against not just Muslims of Indian origin, but against all Muslims. This is critical to understand. We must also recognize the fact that today, perhaps the biggest Islamophobic force in this country is Hindu nationalism. And I am saying that knowing how well entrenched and how strong, how enabled Zionism is in the United States, and still I'm saying this to you, that Hindu nationalism has emerged as of today as one of the largest and the most significant forces of Islamophobia in the United States of America. So it is our duty to fight, and by God are we fighting back. This is literally the Battle of Badr. They have hundreds of millions of dollars. They have hundreds of organizations. You know, in my free time, when I'm not working, I'm still working. So I go to the internet, I go to Google, and I look up. Okay, I just say Hindu organization Chicago, and I literally get a list of 50 or 60 organizations in just one city. You do that with any city. You type Hindu organizations Atlanta, Houston, Austin, Bay Area, San Francisco, Seattle, St. Paul, Minnesota, Minneapolis, Boston, New York, New Jersey, and you will literally get hundreds of organizations. And we are a tiny community, Indian American Muslim Council and our partners, and yet we are fighting back. So the video that you just saw on 14th of August in the state of New Jersey, in the cities of Edison and Woodbridge, the Hindu nationalists organized a parade and they brought a bulldozer to it. This happened on 14th of August. 14 days later, on 28th of August, we made them apologize for it. Unequivocally, not only did they apologize, they said, we understand that the bulldozer is a divisive symbol and we should not have brought it to the rally, to the parade. And this has been made possible because we have our eye on the ball. We are not going to let them sit easy. In a way, in a very ironic way, they make our job easy because this is the United States of America. This is the land of the free and the brave. As Dr. Stanton said, this is also a multicultural society. Let there be no question that this society, this country, understands and appreciates diversity. It appreciates liberalism and progressivism. And that is why, no matter how much they cloak it, no matter how much they hide it, no matter how much they pretend being a model immigrant minority, and therefore they try to be subversive, it is not going to work out for them in the long run, because they will get exposed as they got exposed in New Jersey. So let us be very clear. While Hindu nationalism is expanding in America, so is our fight. Last week, the New York Times carried a guest essay by an Indian journalist who lives in Singapore. And one line really stuck out in that essay, which says, the battle between liberalism and tyranny. The battle between liberalism and tyranny is being lost in India, which is true. And although there are many, many fires burning all over the world, in many theaters, in the Middle East, in Asia, in Africa, in Latin America, the fact that India is the world's largest democracy, because China has more people than India, but it's not a democracy. India has the largest number of population in the world, and it is a democracy. And that's why it is called the world's largest democracy. If Indian democracy goes under, the Vidam Institute of Sweden has already said India is an electoral autocracy. Freedom House of Washington, D.C. has 2 years in a row in 2020 and 2021 said that we are downgrading India's democracy from free to partly free. So if India goes down, if India's democracy goes down, it is going to have a terrible consequence for much of the rest of the world. American democracy cannot be protected if Indian democracy goes down. So we protect American democracy, we protect global democracy by protecting democracy in India. I'm going to conclude to all of you by repeating what my friend and colleague, Sister Husna, said a short while ago. We need all of you to join this battle. No, we don't want all of you to come looking for a job in our different NGOs, because there's not so much money in the business, right? But we want all of you to do, what you can do, is to reach out to your elected officials at the state levels, at the school board levels, to your mayor, to your local police department, to any levels, to the state legislature. In New Jersey, in the last 20 days, we went after all the members of state legislature, of the city, the town council in the cities of Edison and Woodbridge, the mayors, and you will not believe it, the mayors of the two cities, town council members, the members of the New Jersey House of Delegates, the New Jersey Senate, United States lawmakers, they were all there at the parade, and one by one, they all started to denounce the parade. Just 2 days ago, actually yesterday, 24 hours ago, we got a condemnation from the US senators from New Jersey, a joint statement from the two senators condemning the bulldozer rally. So we want all of you to join this fight. This is God's fight. We are not fighting against Hindus. I am a Hindu myself. We are not fighting against Hindus. We are fighting against bigotry. And I can guarantee you there are more Hindus on this planet who are opposed to this bigotry than there are who support this bigotry. Thank you so much.